Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, May 10th, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. We were looking for a continuation to the upside here throughout the week, where we would reach the previous FOMC from March. That FOMC key level at 52.3675. We finally got it in the previous session, reaching that level. By the end of the day, we've seen a very significant continuation here after last week's turnaround from Fed Day. Here's your May FOMC key level down there, and from that May level, we've seen a tremendous move to the upside and a recovery of the March FOMC key level now. Very strong and positive movement overall as we head into next week's inflation data. We've got PPI on Tuesday, CPI on Wednesday, Fed Chair Powell speaking as well on Tuesday morning. So we have a week that could be more increased in volatility next week. This week here, finishing the week strong, finishing on highs, but likely to kind of remain mostly sideways with an upward bias, as this market could continue to work its way higher toward 52.85 heading into next week's trade. So again, very solid price action here out of the ES this week. Mostly up, a little bit of sideways here. Failed new low helped to catapult this thing to the upside, which is exactly what we were mentioning here earlier in the week. If we take a look at the NQ, the NQ has lagged. The NQ has lagged, especially behind the YM. Most of this week has been very, very narrow, and just today, just now, reaching the FOMC key level here at 18,272.5, reaching that in overnight and pre-market trade. You'll see here again, failed new low, was unable to get an outside day up in the previous session, an inside day. That led to a very narrow 3-day, 4-day range, and now we're seeing a little bit of stretch here and getting that FOMC key level finally. That FOMC level is something we thought we could reach on Tuesday, and it just missed out by a few points. We thought we'd get there Wednesday, couldn't get there. Thursday, same deal, so here we are finally getting there. But it's seen a very good stretch, especially from the May Fed Day. Very nice stretch to the upside. And again, we could see a continuation higher toward the 18.5 level, which is right there at that key range high. Very bullish overall. And today could be, again, kind of a sideways digestive day where it holds on to the gains for the week. Looking at crude oil, crude has struggled here for the most part over the recent weeks, but that strong turnaround on Wednesday was significant. And after that turnaround here, we've seen a strong low develop, and we're forecasting that the midpoint of that impulse sell-off will likely get hit. That's at about the 80.68 level, close to the 81s there. Looking for price to come back toward that zone here up ahead to cement this new impulse move into a key range. The previous session was more of a digestive day, and from that digestive day, the idea is we could continue to see a little bit of strength to the upside. Now, keep an eye here on the previous session's high. If there's a strong rejection of that level, perhaps we come back down to the low and develop kind of a 2-day narrow range. But overall, from this strong low here, we're flowing to the upside here, and short term could be looking at a midpoint retest. The midpoint here again, 80.68. Can we get that level here in the very near term before we see another round of selling pressure? That could give us a new key range with great levels to work off of. We take a look here at gold futures. Gold seeing a bit of a breakout in the previous session. Breakout from the narrow range here. It closed above the 2050 previous month's midpoint, and here today already seeing a little bit more expansion. The upside move was quite bullish. It began right off of the 23.16 level. Right there, seen a very nice continuation to the upside in the previous session. In overnight trade here today, in pre-market trade, we've seen a continuation as well. Very nice 2-day rally here, and again, this is more of a 2-week narrow range, not just a 1 week. It's like a 2-week narrow range that has quite a bit of energy built up into it. We're talking about 150 points of expansion that could be seen. And if this thing takes out 2350, perhaps 2500 could be a target up ahead that's very, very doable and in sight. So again, can this thing continue to extend out of this range? So far, so good. And up about 1.4% right now. We'll see if this thing can continue to stretch it to the upside. Worst case scenario for the bulls would be for today's rally to fizzle and for price to close back down below the 2350 level. That type of lower high could be quite significant and could be a failed breakout opportunity. Lastly, looking at the YM. The YM has been a star here this week, stretching big time to the upside. It was one of the ones that got an outside day up when we were looking for it. Got a massive continuation in the previous session that reached the FOMC key level at 39,526. Didn't expect it to be reached in one day like that, as it was pretty far away. But this range yesterday was over 500 points of range, and turned into a buy G squat there. A big time move, and here today the expectation is for kind of a digestive day, holding on to the week's gains after a big stretch here from last Wednesday's FOMC. You can see right there, that's the FOMC at 38,110, and right now trading at 39,630. That's a huge move in just a few short days, and this week has stretched it tremendously. The weekly bar is huge. Today likely to be mostly digestive as it holds on to the days or the week's gains. So impressive strength here, and any pullback could still be a buying opportunity as this market looks to recover back higher. Still, we could be looking at this thing returning back above 40,000 up ahead on the next pullback. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out into the rest of the session. Happy Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.